Yo, welcome to Okoba GH TV, and as I always say, make sure you click on the subscribe button and you ring the bell button. Make sure you are updated with quality information. Today we have a special person in our midst that we would want to have a few interactions with the person, and we have seen the importance of people coming in as investors into our country and what they are doing in their small ways to help us go to reduce unemployment. And so keep it locked here, and we are going to give you good information and the way and how to live about your life despite you being in Ghana. You are not disadvantaged, my friend. You are never disadvantaged. So wait on us as we do the interview with our guest here today. Thank you very much. Yo, welcome to Okoba GH, and as I say, you always click the subscribe button and ring the bell button. You know, because as a country, we want to sell our culture out. There was a year that we decided to go the year of return. And this year of return has brought in a lot of people into our country, people who are contributing to the success and growth of Ghana as a nation. And their contribution can never be underestimated. And so this afternoon we have a special guest in our midst to help us with one or two reasons why he joined the year of return and why he has seen so much passion, had so much passion for Ghana as a country, and much love for the people and everything that has to do with Ghana. So keep it here and don't go anywhere so that you don't miss anything. We're going to continue. Hey, yeah, so as I said earlier, we are here at Okoba GH TV, and as I told you, we have a wonderful personality in our midst who, through the year of return, he was able to come to Ghana, and he has always been in Ghana since then, and he's enjoying Ghana. Just that sometimes he feels that Ghana is extremely hot. Doc, you are welcome to Okoba GH TV. And we are here purposely just to engage you about your stay in Ghana, what engineered you to come to Ghana, and maybe what you've seen so far about the system. So first of all, our viewers will want to know who you are and why you purposely choose to come to Ghana.
Okay, so my name is Dr. Madrid Polak.
Okay.
I am, you could say my background is Jamaican, but as you know, most Jamaicans around us, all Jamaicans are from the Ashanti region. Most of us is.
Okay.
Also, I traveled to Canada, quite a few other countries as well, United States, many other countries as well, but studied mostly under the British colony and also in Canada. Some studies are done in the United States and other countries as well. However, why did I choose to come to Ghana is a very important aspect. If we should talk about that, is a wide spectrum.
Okay.
So I'm going to only do it in a snapshot.
Okay.
If we can actually do it in that. So after practicing for many years, after studying in many different countries and practicing in quite a few different countries, including Canada, it's the last country I mention it because it's the last country that I left from before I came here in Ghana. Some years ago, I have a very good friend of mine. His name is Paul Banahin.
Okay.
He is now the professor I know in Newfoundland. Paul and I, we came to know each other. He is from Ghana.
Okay.
As you heard the name,
Yeah,
you could tell.
Banahini.
Banahini.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even pronounce the guy name properly, but nevertheless, you know, he and I are very good friends. Some years ago, he looked at me and he said, go to Ghana. And that is after he saw how I was working, the kind of work I was doing.
Okay.
He was not a professor then, but I am glad to say, and I'm very happy and intriguing to say, he had now received his PhD from the University of Toronto. Okay. And he is a professor at, I think, his Newfoundland University in that area.
Okay.
So he said to me, go to Ghana. I said, Paul, for what?
For what? Obviously.
I'm enjoying my life. I said, I don't speak the language, which I never knew that you guys spoke, well, still speak, Tree, and also the Fanti language. But I knew that the language you guys spoke and still speak until today is not a language that I was acquainted with.
Yeah, obviously.
Right. So I said to him, I did not see the necessity coming here because I do not like to go into a country where when you're in it, you don't speak the language.
Obviously.
There is always a up and down, and there's
Yeah.
always be a shortfall when you don't. Of course, people discussing certain matters, and you
You don't have any idea about what they're
Yes, and
discussing.
somebody too, a very good friend of mine, she was here talking to me one day, and she looked straight in my face and she uttered a few languages from a few words of the language, and she was making joke with another fellow Ghanaian, and later on I said to her, that was not respectful, and she apologized over it. I said, because it's somebody just making fun over you that they don't know. So it was one of the reasons why I said that I didn't really want it to leave there. It's for no other reason specifically. I understood from many that Jamaica, where is my background, and Ghana is one of the same.
Yeah,
And it is true. Now that I am here, I can tell you that. So I'm just going off a little bit to tell you as to why I came. Afterward, I thought about it, and I think before I left, I called him. But I said, you know what? There is so much to give to our own brothers and sisters here. So if I was to come to Ghana, I have to have a definite plan, a good plan, to help the Ghanaian people.
Obviously.
With the fact that the politicians will not get into the way and do any kind of things. I know sometimes it's not easy to get around that. I learned that too when I'm here. So I'm not into the politics thing. Unless the thing harms me, I have to talk about it. So I said I will come to Ghana and I will bring a particular skills. I will bring other people into who are interested in coming into Ghana to do something.
Okay.
So, so I said, let's go to Ghana.
Obviously, that's how you were able to come to Ghana.
Yeah.
That's an intriguing story.
Mm-hmm. And then I made sure that within the first year period, 2 years period, I started to plan more seriously. Many people never understood why. And then many of my patients over there, even today I got the news that they are quite upset. So I'm trying to say to you folks, do not feel so upset about the fact that I leave. I'm sorry, I can't carry you everywhere I'm going. I know there is, when I heard about it too, there's a lot of my patients that lost their lives throughout a certain time period. Many that I had spoken to and many that I did not get to speak to before I left. However, I know there are a lot of them that passed away. No. Some of which is thinking that if I were there, that would never happen. That may be true, that may not be true. But still, if I have to go, I have to go. Okay. My life story does not end with one set of people. And I can't say that anyone should be selfish. When I was up there are those who think that I belongs to them. We have patients who used to, they would never tell another friend about me. And when they asked them, where did you get help? They wouldn't say it. I found that out only after those people who they would not tell came and found me and said that they would not tell them. And I said, that's not good, because they thought I belongs to them. I don't belong to anyone specifically. Okay. But I serve my people wherever I go. I serve other nations, other people too as well. This is not a one-arm story either. So within the last 2 years, I seriously get up to the point and buckle up, pack my stuff, and I got out. I said, when I come to Ghana, it's another a failing business, and my intention is big. The spectrum is wide. I will never get into everything right now because I learned just the other day, we have lots of people coming into Ghana and some of them have no idea. And as soon as they hear your idea or the ideas that you have, they rush to start something. So I will only touch on a little bit of it. Okay. Not everything, but they are very big, massive spectrum. Of ideology. Yes. The ideologies are not for me alone. It's more so for the Ghanaian people. And it's also for the employment of over 500,000 people. Wow. That's the least.
That's amazing.
We know we'll go above that after a 5 years period, accordingly to the plans that I have.
Okay. Yeah. So when you were talking, you said that when your friend told you to, Banahini told you to come to Ghana, you were thinking about it. From the time that you decided to pack and come to Ghana, and looking at the plans that you have, we are hoping to see it come into fusion. Do you think that the time frame that you have, if for instance you are supposed to go back, the time frame that you have, can you put anything meaningful in place? Because when it comes to our country here in Ghana, sometimes the bureaucracy, you have to do this, you have to do that. There are no clear cuts to doing things. How do you think you can achieve it before you even leave?
Well, all things can be achieved and they are achievable if we do it in a certain manner, I do things into a respectful manner. So for me, it must be straightforward. And I am outspoken too as well.
Obviously.
And I'm glad you brought that up because to tell you the truth, I applied for a few things when I came here, some of which I realized afterward I should not have applied for them really, because I'm under certain banner which allows me to operate as a free person.
Okay.
But I did apply for some of these things. I may have to do something about that afterward. But just to give you an example, I applied for the business license.
Business license.
Yes, and when I applied for the business license, they deliberately had the business license. It was finished, but they make sure that each time when they call me, they told me that it is sitting on the, if I'm correct, the receiver's general's table.
Okay.
And it was never leaving the table.
Why? For what purpose?
Well, for the purpose that if you don't bribe some folks in this country, you can't get anywhere. And for me, it's not that I cannot do that, but let me be specific. Yeah, it makes sense for some people. It doesn't make any sense for me. And the reason why, and I keep saying it to them, I said, look, it is not that I cannot bribe people, but I refuse to do that. Because when I do that, I know that it is a corruptible practice. It's not good. And I mean, it's a kind of a sickness and disease in some sense. And if I'm going to say someone is corrupt, I cannot be doing the same thing while I am complaining about it at the same time.
Okay.
So, you know, you see it everywhere. When you do that, you find that there is, you know, it's become a problem when you see what they're doing. And not only that, when I thought about it, if they had released that license long ago, I would have been able to start what I'm doing and able to start employing Ghanaians months ago.
Wow.
But they held on to it because people are selfish. It's what they can get today, and they don't care about you or anyone else for that matter. So yes, and not only that, I'm not saying it because I'm so much against what they're doing. I don't agree with it. But what I'm saying it for is to say that we have to understand that it is not about any single person. It's not about one of us. This is about all of us. And until we understand what it means to be having feelings and love for your brothers and your other sisters, not being selfish, then we will start to make a great deal of headway in life.
Obviously.
If not, others will suffer. And you may be able to line your pocket with a little, but what will you do for your brothers?
Exactly.
You know, it's not good.
Back to when you were thinking of coming, since you came, you were saying that your patients, a lot of them are still interested in you coming back. It gives me a sense that you are into a particular specialization. What specialization are you into? Like that makes you stand out such that when you are not around, your patients feel your absence?
Well, if you look at my biography, you will see the way how I do things. When you read it, you will see, and I make it clear in it that, you see, for me, I'm in health business, and I'm in natural health.
Yeah.
And what I would say, I wouldn't say I'm just a naturopath. I would say that I am a drugless therapist. Yeah. It means we don't use drugs. I have a PhD a doctor of, you know, it's a Passport Medical Association in the U.S. But I do not practice drugs. I prefer not to. I was about to go to England into an Ivy League university to finish a PhD to teach doctors. And then afterward, many of my friends who are drug doctors that we have, because believe it or not, I keep friends.
Yes,
that are drug doctors too. You know, we talk sometimes, I run them over a little bit, and they will agree that, hey, look, what it is, they know natural medicine is the thing. Because when they fail at certain things, we are able to pass. But the good thing is, I am in an area where you could say there's many different specialties. And there are specialties, different kinds. So, you know, natural medicine is one of which I practice, and it's a wide spectrum. The scope of it is deep and broad. But I have able to lower myself into many other degrees and many other natural medicine practices or drugless therapies practices, which I'm able to do and enjoy the practice of it.
Obviously.
For example, I am a doctor of integrated medicine.
Wow.
And it allows me to practice and how to integrate many other different medicines together and how to use it. You know, it's great. And many people may say to me then, wow, you know, you're so qualified. Well, it's not just the qualification why I did what I did, but I can tell you this. I started out as an RNP, which is a registered natural therapist practitioner.
Okay.
It's an RNP degree.
Okay.
And it allows me to practice colon hydrotherapy, iridology, reflexology, colon hydrotherapy. It's a whole lot of things. It's lymphatic drainage, you know, deep aroma massage therapy, herbology, biochemistry, the whole works.
Wow.
Later on, when I started to do a doctor of natural medicine, I have to add it to that, doing anatomy, physiology, and, you know, it's a whole lot more you do to that.
Yeah.
But while I was doing that, and you think that that is it, I remember one day a few patient passes through my office because I have one of the biggest offices in Canada at the time.
Okay.
And I practiced almost for 20 years.
Wow.
And so while I was working, there was a lady came in and the lady was having pain at her back. And I never forget, I apply medicine and it works. But when she comes back, she was still having pain. So I started to think about it. And I said, something is wrong. So I put her to walk in front of me, and while she was walking, I realized she was lean to one side, the shoulders up there, and I wonder what happened. So when I started to ask her some questions, I found out that when she was playing as a child, she fell out of a tree.
Oh.
And when she dropped, she twisted. But being in certain type of country like Jamaica, where you don't get help for that, like they never used to have lots of chiropractors, people don't know about those things. They were never able to help her.
Okay.
And then for me, I said, I do not like to have a patient that is suffering and crying. When you listen to that lady cry, and I have to keep giving natural medicine all the time. I don't like to provoke the body by giving it, just throwing medicine at it all the time to fix it. Even though it's natural, it have no side effects, it's not going to do the person anything. For me, there has to be a point in time when I fix the problem, and if it's natural, you come off that medicine.
Obviously.
And able to let the body produce for itself. So I put her to lie down one day and I was trying to pull her in and out. And then for somehow she went back to her doctor, and then she went and she found a chiropractor, which never really helped much, but they are good chiropractors. And then she said, you know, the chiropractor was saying to me, I was telling him, she says, about you, and I was telling him how you were trying to help. And then I learned shortly after that, if you try, I don't know about any other country, but I know that Canada and the United States, England, they are like that. To do certain kind of work that you're not qualified in, you can be sued.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, like maybe you're in Ghana, you could pull somebody and stretch them and you get away with it. If anything goes wrong, you jump out of it.
Yes.
But I realized that if you do that, so I go, you know, it's not good. So I went and I did a diploma in manual osteopath.
Okay.
And I loved it, and I went and did a doctorate in manual osteopath, which made me a doctor of osteopathy, which is bone doctor. We do the same thing more like a chiropractor, but on the opposite side, we do softer techniques. And we are quite effective as well.
Wow.
So I have to do that. And then the lady was helping even shortly after that, right? So, yeah, it is because of what pushes me for doing so much is simply because every time when I meet a patient that is having certain problem, and if it is out of the category where I had studied, I want to help the person. So believe me, if I have to go back to school to do a PhD to help you, I will do it.
then I'm sure I really need help
because you're suffering.
Because I want to drop my lens. Maybe that's
Well, we have high corrective measure medicine. If you go on my website, you will see.
As I was saying that, since you came to Ghana, you've tested the system a bit, where people even want to take something from you before they give you business license and all these things. Do you still think that there are avenues for exploration in as much as the system is making it look like you have to be open-handed to give people in order to get their opportunity to help you explore? Do you still think there is enough opportunity for exploration in this country?
Well, yes. You know, in every country, it have its problem. They have their corrupt problem. Some country do not put it on the surface for you to see it. I'm not saying Canada is so wonderful neither, because their corruption goes deep and high. The trouble is that in this country, the corruption is on the surface. For God's sake, you do better. But corruption is corruption wherever it is. Madness is madness wherever it is. But you can able to do something those of us who don't believe in such a madness, we need to lay back and set a better example. I do hope that we have more good people than the bad ones.
Obviously.
Yes, we're hoping for that. But sometimes when you look at a system which is so oppress and depress, regress, I said this to someone, and it's true, and they said it's more than I say, but I think Ghana is 150 years behind.
Wow.
150 years behind. It could be more. And when I say that, some people don't understand.
Because I'm totally
right. So some people don't understand what he said. Well, when you talk about infrastructure, when you talk about manufacturing, if they will only use most of these expatriates and these people who are diasporans coming in with so much qualification, they would oftentimes get further. But what is going on here is sometimes so mixed up, like they can't sort it out, which is very easy to sort out.
Wow.
Looks for the people that have good building qualities. Look at the infrastructure. Most of the roads in Ghana, you have to wonder how it is that a country that have almost all the resources in the world is at the bottom of the ladder. Well, the politics of that I know. I know what is happening.
Yes.
I can tell who is doing it. But I said, it's not my so much sophistication to speak. That's not what I'm getting into. But as you ask, with all these things happening, can there be an headway? Can there be a situation where we can do anything? Yes, because many other countries with these problems are able to survive. And there are sometimes changes we can able to do things. I believe that we can able to raise this country. I know it's not going to be easy to do when you have people sitting in the driver's seat that are lining their pockets at the same time. And you have to try to tell them to get down.
Yeah.
They're not moving anywhere. Sometimes it takes more than that.
Okay.
I have military background, so I am kind of a madman. But I wouldn't say that in that sense. So yes, we can with what is going on. Sometimes you have to bypass them and look after the poor people at the bottom. Give them the power and let them rise to the top.
Obviously.
It can happen.
Obviously. Ghana is about 150 years behind. I can't stop thinking about. But in as much as our country is far behind in terms of everything, do you think that the plan, the big idea that you have as a medical doctor in natural medicine, drugless medicine?
I'm not a medical doctor, so
okay,
but I do certain things in the medical.
Yes.
Drugless.
Yes, drugless doctor. Do you think that the idea that you have will be able to move us in a way from being 150 years behind to a certain level?
Well, yes, because I'm not just a I'm not just a doctor in drugless practices only. I also possess a 2 engineering degree from London, England.
Wow.
So I know when you talk about infrastructure, what that means. It's something that I work in from the beginning of time. You know what I mean? We build aircraft, we build spacecraft, we build tractor trailer, train, we build all of those kind of things. So we know what infrastructure is supposed to be like. Okay. Now, for example, in Cape Coast, I asked someone, I saw some tractor trailer went by, and I asked the person, is there a place here that you build trailer? They're like, no. So where do you get it from?
We buy it outside.
Right, exactly. Or they said there's one place in Accra that do something like that. They're not even sure if it builds. I'm like, we're supposed to be able to buy these axles, bring them in, or sooner or later start making them ourselves, the axles. Okay. We used to build the bodies. We're working at a company where we used to make 18 of those per day.
Wow.
18. We have 3 lines. And each lines were responsible for building 6.
Wow.
And they did it. You build it from the bottom where you make everything from the bogie, everything right up to the structure where we put the axle and the thing wires it up, the electrical wires up, the tractor trailer come hook it up, they apply the air to the brake, the drums, everything that works.
Wow.
So even when I came and I look and I said to somebody, do we have trains? Oh, trains?
No.
Like, oh man, like how?
The last time we had trains in Ghana, people went there to cause problems and the whole train nearly collapsed to cause a big problem.
Maybe they don't understand what it is and it's just a new thing. But yeah, infrastructure. We are not doing a lot of materialization of making things, manufacturing things of our own. And those, those who manufacture certain things, one thing I realize is that there's Their practices of politics is so nasty.
Wow.
One government will be building certain things, and when that government get out of power,
They
off, destroy that.
Then they do.
How do you get anywhere? Because no government is going to be in power all the time. So if this is how they're doing it, when this one come out, that one destroys what one do. Hey, does it make sense? You will never get anywhere. It seems to me there is a practice going on that there are certain countries that employ their agencies to work within this country to destroy it, that I know of. When I said to you, I know where this is really going. I understand where it's really taken. Many people don't know it, but they need to read and study history, look at different countries, and see who was responsible for most of those destruction of it, and they will put their finger literally on the right set of people who are doing that.
Well, you know, one thing that I find disturbing is that every Ghanaian wants to go outside the country. Every Ghanaian wants to travel to the US, wants to travel to Canada, wants to travel to any other country. But sometimes I feel like, does it mean somewhere outside Ghana, Canada, Jamaica, all the countries outside, don't they face any challenges? Don't they face any difficulty? By extension, what I want to say is that, how was your childhood life experiences growing up? Was it so smooth that if anyone moves out of Ghana and gets to Canada, hooray, it's all green over there? How is it like?
Well, you see, what happened is, where I was born, it is in Jamaica.
Wow.
And that's where I grew up over a period of time. Just in my early 20s, I left. The good thing is that when you look at the up and the down sides, living in, take Canada, for example. When I was in Canada and I looked at the different things that they have, I made some differences with what I looked at, what I had in Jamaica, what I never had. Many people, when I invited them to Jamaica and they go there, and they are not blacks, they are whites. And other two will look at me and ask me, why did you leave to come there? Well, remember now, they are coming from, like, sometimes when we're going to Jamaica, I used to invite friends. We have a lot of friends. We used to invite friends from England, friends from Canada, friends from US. And we all go down, we meet in Jamaica. We're flying differently and we meet in Jamaica. And they're asking me, why do you even come back? Now, I have friends that never came back from Jamaica, and they leave, they're not going back. They're not going back to the States, they're not going back to Canada, they're not going back to England. And you ask yourself, why? Well, they realize that there were things there that we never really noticed. Well, I noticed them. For example, our food are more likely to be organic food.
In Jamaica?
Yes.
Obviously.
And if you notice, the way the place is set, and I won't get into too much of it, because I'm into what you call optimum sport nutrition, where I train athletes as well. And I was just laughing when Usain Bolt able to do what he's doing, and you saw these whole lot of reporters fly down to Jamaica. Maybe you never see it, but I saw it.
Yeah.
And they are in his mother's kitchen with cameras trying to see what Usain is eating. Well, look, most Jamaicans are extremely strong. The fact that there are black folks from the Ashanti regions and from, nevertheless, the air, the food, water, spring waters, those who live in the city, you find that they are not so healthy like the ones who live in the countryside.
Obviously.
So what we have there and running away sometime going to the US to eat, what are we looking for there? More Kentucky Fried Chicken,
yes.
more McDonald's, yes,
more pizza,
more Cracker Bell, which they call Taco Bell,
yes.
You know what I mean? More Tenderty Fried Chicken, Kentucky Fried Chicken. What do you want to call? Look, all these are what we call junk food.
Obviously.
In most cases.
Yes.
When you go in US and you look at them, these folks are sometimes big, they are fat. When you go to Jamaica, the people who you see that overweight are the ones that are living the same lives
that are
like those who are living in the United States, in the supersize me direction. That's what I'm talking about. You see what I mean? So obviously what we have rivers. We could go and take a swim. When I am in Canada or the United States, if you see a river, you try not to go into that. Lots of duck, poo, everything in that thing. And they will advise you not to go into it. When you're in Jamaica, if you're in Barbados, Trinidad, when you see their river, it runs swift. You can swim and dive or float, whichever one you want to do.
Wow.
Nice rocks and stone in Jamaica with lovely sun at the bottom. What are we running away from? Is what they had told us. They told us that is very nice.
Over there.
Oh yeah, and then you should come too. And then they set a standard where it's very difficult for you to even get through to go there. Obviously, if they want to portray that they have something that you want, they have to show you it's difficult to get it.
Obviously. I think I get the narrative well. Because yes, it does make sense. But I pick intelligence from what you were saying, that when way back in Canada they live more on organic foods. So does it mean right from childhood up to today you don't eat anything fleshy, anything meat, anything?
No, when I was a child I used to eat meat.
Okay.
But we never ate the kind of meat that was imported.
Oh, okay.
Not for us, specifically my family. We live in the countryside, you know, and in the countryside where we live, we raise our own chicken, we raise our own cows, people raise their own goats, people raise everything. They farm them themselves. And believe me, they eat their own raised animal.
Okay. So does it mean if you eat your own raised animal, it is okay?
Well, later on I get to understand that eating certain kind of things is not so healthy, especially meat eaters.
Wow.
Especially the kind of meat that you have these days on the market. Especially, again, you have to go further to say, where I'm coming from, I have seen they use meat glue to put meat together.
Whoa.
To glue them together. And then to make the meat look so wonderful and nice in the store, they inject it to make the meat looks red. Wow. And lovely. Now, it's all about for them how they present things. You know, Ghanaians don't really do that, but for them, they present things a certain way. Okay. So even if the thing doesn't taste good, the way they put it on the plate, it's a decoration of lifetime.
So it makes it appealing to your senses, to your viewing.
Yes, that is how it is. You know, I came to Ghana and I said, what a difference. Because unlike Jamaica, Jamaicans, you know, most of the Caribbeans, they do things like when it comes to food, they make sure that if they're going to put the food in the supermarket or in the market, it has to be clean. It can't be carrying certain things.
Yeah.
Well, I felt bad because Ghanaians, who are the same Akan people, you know, the Hamites, and when you look at them and you see how they're operating, you realize they have fell from such a high level to such a low level. And I believe it's over the period of years when they are so oppressed and depressed by what's going on. Hardly anybody care anymore. And let me give you an example. I love Ghanaian native brown rice.
Wow.
It looks reddish. I love the rice. You know, I guess you just ate a little bit of it a while ago because I mix it with the overseas rice. That is the basmati brown rice. And I love it. And I came in here and I tasted the rice and I said, you know what, this is the rice I love and I want to eat mostly of the native food. So I don't buy onions from outside. I love the Ghanaian onions. I stick to the native food. In truth and in fact, when you're eating, you should not be eating food too far out of a 20-mile radius. The food must be in less than 20 miles to where you are. There are good reasons why. But when I
pee, so we were talking about the fact that as a country and as a people, we tend to enjoy going out, and you were saying something about eating food that is not 1.2 radius ahead of where you stay or something of that sort. I want to know, are you a strict vegan?
Yes, I am a strict vegan.
Wow.
And I am not just a vegan, I'm an, you could say, health reformer.
Wow.
Yeah, so for me, it's not just vegan. It's have everything to do with health reform. And when I say that, let me just explain a little bit what it means. You have vegans who will eat food almost anywhere. And if they're on the street and they're hungry, and if somebody serves them something, they will eat it. No, I can't do that. I have a hard time eating anywhere on the streets. Very difficult for me. So being a health reformer mean more than just being a vegan as well. For me, when I came in this country, I started to look around in the marketplace. And what I noticed is most of their utensils that is used to cook the food that you're eating, so whether it's vegan or not, what these utensils are made out of, I realized Ghana is one of the highest producers of aluminum.
Yes, obviously.
Right. Now, because because I do metallurgy, I did do metallurgy.
Yes.
Metallurgy is one of my subjects. I love it. You know, I did that in Union of Lancashire and City and Guilds of Flanders as well. When I look at that, you will learn about metal and how they operate.
Yes.
And I also noticed that some of the pots that are so expensive here, they're worth nothing. They should never be even on the market. They're garbage. And over in England and Canada, people start to wake up already saying, they're not using these things. But why are we using them here? Because we don't know. Most of the people here don't know. Aluminum pot, for example, if you take a new aluminum pot, whichever brand it may be, and if you take it and put water in it, half the pot of water, and you put it on the stove and let it start to boil for a while. When you finish boiling the pure clean water, if you boil it for 30 minutes and if you turn it off, if you look good at the top of the water, you will see a little white phlegm on top of it.
Yes.
It's the aluminum
that has leached
out into the water.
Yeah.
If you had put food such as, you know, we have lovely Ghanaian yams.
Yes.
And lovely potatoes here. You know, the food is healthy. But even though it's carbs. But if you should put that in that pot and boil it, that alumina would go into the food and you turn around and eat that.
Yeah, obviously.
Well, it's heavy metal toxic.
Yes.
Again, I noticed too that if it is not the aluminum, which if it's not the aluminum, it's these coated pots. They are called non-stick pot.
Yeah.
They are dangerous. When I say dangerous, they're very dangerous. Why? Because that coat that they put in that pot for nothing to stick on the pot may seems very easy, but the technology of who came up with that it's crazy. It is really lead that they use. Nothing sticks on lead. Yes. And whenever you heat up lead, it releases lead oxide, known as PB, which is lead O4 oxide. If you go further, it's really lead poison. That's what it is. Now, most of the people who are eating from these aluminum pots and these lead pots, when you hear some people having Alzheimer's disease, these things help to produce that. Where is this proof for all that? Well, go do your research. It depends on where you read anyways, but it will show you. These things, especially heavy metal toxin, which get inside your bloodstream, feed through your brain,
they cause a lot of problems.
And one of the problems I have here too is most of the restaurants, so we're talking about, so I don't eat, I can't deal with it because most of the restaurants here, what they do is they are using aluminum pots. And they are also using non-stick pots.
So it means you are being exposed to a higher lead poisoning and
aluminum oxide, which is our alumina inside your body. So even so, we are looking at food too. That's something I'm going to be getting to later on.
Yeah.
I won't be, and none of us will be using, and none of us will be using any of these kind of pots and utensils within our industry. We will not be using it. And if you are owning restaurants and you are using these pots, you should know that you're not being a part of the solution. You're being a part of the problem. You know, it's not good.
Obviously. I think we've had a wonderful time with you. The enlightenment has been so great. In fact, just got to know that Ghana is 150 years behind, and it speaks a lot to us as a country. Well, let's veer to a bit away from about you, about what you do. What is it about your family? Since you came down, how has the family been, and how are they coping with the system in Ghana?
Well, to be honest, my son is enjoying Ghana as for what it is. He's not running into many of the problems that I am running into because I'm doing most of the legworks. Yeah. You know, in Ghana, you go into the supermarket, you stand a better chance if you go on the street to buy food where the native food that I like is, then sometimes you have a problem because when most of the Ghanaian native, and it's a shame, I call it a disgrace, whereby when they hear the way how you speak, they realize that you were never born here, and you're going to buy something. They put the price of the thing 3 times more So what I am doing, I'm getting acquainted with the different things in there and knowing what the price is supposed to be. Because as soon as they get the chance to raise the price of it, and I will not say it's just a matter of survival, they're trying to survive, they're doing that, but it's if you put it to be blunt, which I am, it's theft. You know, when you know that the price of something is not what it is, and you are doing that, you are a thief.
Obviously.
You know, you are not supposed to do that. Besides, just a fellow brothers of your own, I'm your brother, I'm not anybody else.
Yeah.
And you're trying to dig my pocket out at the best you can. No, it's so wrong. And they are doing it almost everywhere. And as I said, it's a shame. It's disgraceful. And for those who are doing it, they need to stop and think.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yes. So you mean you came to Ghana with only your son and you are here?
Yeah, my son and I is here. You know,
yes, we will be coming to a close with our interaction very soon, but I just want our viewers to appreciate who you are and the motive and everything that you have for us as a country. So I would like you to summarize the vision that would, within 5 years, if you are able to put that vision into action, we will employ about 5,000 people. I want you to 500,000 people.
Exactly.
Yes, I want you to put that in a very short explanation in the next 1 minute, so that we can put our discussion to a close.
Okay. Well, first a comment. Ghana have the potential than many other countries do. But what I realize is that the fellow Ghanaians that are here, they're not thinking. I don't know what it is, but they're not really seeing certain things. The vision that they need to have, most of them don't, and I don't know why. But I think that even though I don't meet Ghanaians with that vision, I think there are Ghanaians with good visions.
Obviously.
I do not know why, I don't know everything, and I can't say. But what I do know is this. I came in this country, I'm here just for about 8 months, 9 months. And already I can see things that are so needed. One of the things that one needs to bear in mind is if you're doing something, look for the needs of the people and supply them their needs. So, being somebody who are vast and wide in different areas. Because for example, I have an engineering degree from London, England. I look into area where the requirements of development are supposed to be. And I'm seeing it falling short in Ghana. Things that they could have been making and they are not able to do so, or for whatever the reason is, I'm not too sure. Some could say they are not having access to resources. Now they're talking about how that will be getting a little bit more out there. And I am hoping that that will be so that many Ghanaians can have access to some resources to start their thing. But for me, I can look into many areas because I am in different areas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? One of the things I want to do is to set up I'll be setting up some herbal hospital.
Okay.
So natural medicine hospital here. Our kind of a practice will not be like the normal ones here. I went to look at them. Okay. So I'm not doing anything they are doing. I'm talking about expanding in a wider spectrum whereby we can operate without even needed any help from drugs altogether and dealing with several things at the same time. Right. So that's one of the things I'm looking at. Now, as for many of the other qualifications that I do possess, I can work in these areas easily. You know, so setting up quite a few of these hospitals in many parts of Ghana is something that I am thinking about. And as for, I'm not too sure yet, but when this will come in, but as for the manufacturing and so on, I am looking at quite a few things. Wow. That we will be able to put into the hands of Ghanaians. Wow. And as I said, it's not even about me, it's about Ghana. No. It's about the people. It's about people who need to be employed, people who need help. Sometimes they can't think the way you do, so if you can put it together and put them to work. And the next thing too, I would like to talk about a little bit is the fact that Ghanaians are not so well paid. I can say.
Yes, obviously.
Yeah. One of the things I'm trying to do is to see if I can extend a school from Canada to here. I don't think I want to use the Ghanaian certificate so much. Okay. I think I would use the curriculum because I've been looking at the ones here. I want to use the curriculum from in Canada especially, and see if we can start doing some naturopaths, starting them with their RNP, which is a registered natural therapist practitioner degree, and see also if I can discuss, you know, a lower cost.
Okay.
Because, you know, in Canada it's about 10,000 to do that course. However, when you look at the calculation, if you should say 45,000, 50,000 here, Ghanaian will make their money back, I know.
Yes.
But I'm still lobbying for something that they can be able to do, you know, get a better choice.
Obviously.
And also an affordable choice that they can be able to do what they want to do. So that's one of the other things I wanted to do as well.
Thank you very much. And I think it's been an amazing day with Dr. P with us here. Please make sure your options are to also help others to come to where you are, because Dr. P is coming from a different background, but the visions that he has for us as a country is even far bigger than our own vision. You know, this video, this section that we've had with this influential person would help you start thinking in a different way and make sure you contribute your quota to the development of this country. I am your host, Samegai Guy, and this is Akoba GH TV. Keep watching and subscribe to Akoba GH. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching.